Hello my friends. So first wash and chat of 2023. Of course you know that we've been delayed on all fronts. We've been battling tidal waves of delays, but yeah, I think we're about ready now to start showcasing some kind of stuff. There's still a lot of stuff, as you'll probably see on this wall in a second, that is in delay or in transit, stuff like that. So finally the shelves. These are custom depth shelves because we didn't want them to come out the normal 600 mil like we have in the shops. So these are quite rare and you can't find them at that depth. So enough to hold just the one bottle, but that's what we wanted. And then the biggest problem came with the custom brackets. So that caused us about 4 or 5 month delay, but that's where I think for now we're going to keep the Prezol. Everything's subject to kind of change. But Prezol's on there, all pre-filled. So whenever I want, to go and do a maintenance wash or wash and chat like this, then we'll obviously go and pick it up. I'm still playing around with this. We've got some black anodized hooks. That was just for the foam cannon. Again, I'm just testing it. I've got my Mosmatic lance holder, which we're thinking, I'm not yet sure, but somewhere like this, so I can just slot my gun and lance kit in here. Probably because we thought about we're going to go on the side wall. I think it's just going to be more centralized. So again, this is still not been done. This needs probably within the next day or two, I'm hoping. It's fairly simple, but we're just waiting on some black screws to kind of come, anodized black. But that's kind of so far the wall. We've got this, again, I'm going to do a dedicated video on this, of course, and that's coming up in a week or two, but this is so far the kind of wall mounted kind of pressure washing solution. At the time of me shooting this video right now, so today is Wednesday, either tomorrow, which is Thursday or Friday, we've got the big MTM order arriving. So it's a palletized order from the US, and on there will be more of the whip lines, and we've got them all in different specs. So we've got the blue Cobra Gel whip line, we've got the black Cobra Gel whip line at different lengths. So again, we're just building up inventory, but yeah, this is going to be a dedicated video. Of course, it deserves it. I've again, do it once, do it right, like I say, but we've took the head off this or the faceplate, and we've actually shortened the cord because Krenzler liked to give us 44 meters worth of electrical cord. So we've just shortened it nicely. So look, it's just perfect. You can have it like this. So yeah, it's very nice. It just looks slick. Hose reel. Again, I'm playing around with the hose reel options at the minute. I'm doing all this for media. So we've put blue Cobra Jet on the black MTM hose reel. We're going to do blue on a black Cox reel, and then we're going to take it up, and then just keep playing around with the Cox reels, and then we're going to do other brands as well. So I'm trying to find different kind of stepping stones in hose reels. There's of course good, very good, and excellent. So at the minute, that's the setup that we're rolling with. It's working well for us. We've got some Mosmatic 3/8 fittings coming for this as well. But yeah, this is beautiful. The hose has been used now a few times. It's been scuffed a bit, which is a good thing, because now when I'm reeling it, the more that I reel it, of course, the more it gets more pliable. So it's actually super easy to reel, and I'll probably show you how it's done. But this is our custom wall-mounted filter. Now the reason I say custom, one, we've gone for fully black. Nobody does black, so we're thinking, yep, we're going to do black. So we had to actually get this custom made for us. It was quite expensive for what it is. Obviously, relatively, it's not expensive, but quite expensive in comparison to when you buy these, in 500-piece bulk kind of items. But we've had custom threads as well done in here, because everything in the UK is either 1 inch, 1/2 inch, sometimes even smaller, and you've got to start stepping it down with reducers, which is not what I want to do. I want to go metal to metal contact. A lot of these that you see that every kind of water purifying website sells are all plastic threaded, and it's just cheap tack. So these are metal thread, metal inlet thread, metal outlet thread, 3/4 specific to us, which is nice. I just find it easier to go directly in rather than using adapters and stuff, because the more adapters you have, or in this case, the more reducers you have, the more prone to leakage. So again, we can literally go direct from the wall up here, which you're about to see now, and then on the final rinse, we utilize the shut-off valves, and then we have pure water. So I'm testing new resin. So I'm literally washing cars like every 2 days almost. So our fleet is looking sweet, but I'm testing all the different grades of resin, and when this gets released, all of this, you will know that every resin in existence has been tested. So when people keep asking, when is this ready, when is this ready? I'm going to tell you again, but this time on camera, don't rush the process. I'm trying to give you the best resin that is available. I'm not going to just go to a wholesale website and get you some mediocre resin that usually comes out of India or China, and I don't want that. That is not the MO that we do. So that's that, and of course you're going to see, I think this wall you're going to see me quite a lot in, so I'm going to be doing, as I'm kind of filling buckets now and stuff like that, so it's quite cool. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. This is the bucket filler, and with the bucket filler, it's an interesting story about this, but before I get into it, still testing some dollies again. I've got some more dollies where they can hold kind of items, but that's a whole different video. That's why I haven't secured the buckets into here, because I'm just constantly chopping, changing. We've got a V2 package coming up as well of the bucket, so I'm constantly, you know, changing the configurations, but eventually I will secure them in once I'm happy. But with the bucket filler, so if you know, again, haven't yet done that tour, but the finalized tour, you will, if you even remember through the build out phase, the boiler, so we've got a very, very nice boiler. I think it's Wiesmann, quite expensive, German, you know, and the advantage of Wiesmann boilers, Wiesmann, is they produce hot water pretty much instantly. But still the problem that we've got is we've got at least probably 30, 40 meters worth of piping to get into the back of this tap. So the reason we went for a Wiesmann is because it can heat that water super quick. So again, out of here, right now, I think it's -2 outside. You will see, so I've got it set to full hot, and this is the bucket filler. Oh, I'm twisting the wrong way. And within, I will tell you when it gets warm. There we are. It's starting to get warm now. So within what, a fraction of a second, or of a few seconds, you're starting to get really warm water coming out of here. So by the time the bucket fills, I've got the water preset at, I think we're running at the boiler end, 75 Celsius. Which is, again, look, you can probably start seeing the steam coming. But I just like to pre-fill these first. I know other people like to do it other ways, but I like to pre-fill, put my wash into here, and just when I'm ready, it's going to be hot water. I just blast it with the gun and lance kit to obviously activate the solution, and we're pretty much done. But that's the bucket filler, fireman nozzle going all the way up to here. But everything, the advantage of this is it's all via a quick disconnect system. So you know, if you want to take anything off for servicing, you can just take it off, and yeah, it's amazing. Top it off. So that's warm water, beautiful. Now I never put the shampoo in first because it just gives you that stupid head on it. So I do it to around here. So that's probably a quarter, maybe a third in warm water, and then the rest I will agitate with the pressure washer, which got the nozzle assembly on. But this is the best way, because now it's getting warm. You can adjust the fan pattern. Oh yeah. I like it when it's on a weird pattern. Yeah. more of a fan. There we are. It just feels better to me. So again, that's about a third, I would say now, more than a quarter. And then of course, put in the Yum wash. Beautiful. Okay, first wash and chat at HQ 2.0. Living the dream, my friends, living the dream. I checked a few days back my last wash and chat at the previous HQ, and I could just tell I looked a little bit stressed, probably a little bit peed off, but the reasons were justified, let's say, more than just justified. So I'm still kind of working on new angles. I'm seeing, what works and what doesn't work. But we've got quite a big space, and I'm trying to make sure everything grows into it organically as best as possible. But there's a lot to update you on. A lot. As I said, when I was filling up, it's -2 out here. Luckily, I've got warm water, so it freezing's not a problem. I've got my infamous jacket on, the Rab jacket. This jacket is from 2013, and this is what I bought when I was in Afghanistan. It's not 2012, 2013, can't remember. So, but in fact, it was 2012. But yeah, this kept me warm in -10, -15 degree kind of conditions. I keep this, as you can tell, it's over 10 years old and it looks brand new. So I look after my things. So I've got that on. I can't actually feel the cold at all, which is a bonus. But as I said, there's a lot of things to update you on. A lot of plans to talk about, a lot of ideas, and a lot of the in-between. But I was just thinking there, before I started filming, had a spot of breakfast. I'm on a new funk here. You should try it. I think it's Jordan's granola, the berry version. So it's got these like freeze-dried berries in there. I then take half of the container of natural yogurt, and then mix in a few spoonfuls of like whatever. I think on this one I had cherry, but it was cherry yogurt. I've been doing that for the last 3 weeks here at work, and it's felt great. It felt really good. For some reason it fills me up more than other things do, so I'm feeling fulfilled at the minute. I've had 20 cups of coffee, I've got a full stomach, and I feel fired up for this wash and chat. So I was just thinking when I was having breakfast, I don't like playing catch up, because when you play catch up, there's so much to do, there's so many revolving parts, but these said parts are already kind of revolving naturally because it's the business. So when you start adding more things into the fold, it just sometimes becomes a little bit painful is the word. If you're wondering, I've got the 5.0 orifice on this, so 5.0 and a 40-degree fan, obviously. Looks nice. It just rinses super quick. So, in terms of catch-up, as I've mentioned when I was filming the buckets, I've got a lot of independent videos which had to be paused because of the move. And then the moves, in some cases, has delayed us ordering things because we thought, well, no point getting it delivered if we're potentially having to move it from point 1 to point 2 type of thing. So certain things have happened in the world, which then means when you have ordered it, there's extra delay or raw material shortages, which you get where I'm going with this. So we are playing a little bit of catch up, some of which is our fault, some of which isn't. But that's one of these things that we have to get used to at the minute. But we are still growing into the new HQ. If you all remember, you would have seen that the first video at the new place has gone live, which is a bonus. But the plan is, hopefully, so what are we now? We're in February, so the plan is that we just catch up in terms of the filming as quickly as possible, and then grow into the new mode of filming. And most importantly as well, I've kind of worked myself up to this level, but, and I'm going to probably touch on this more in detail throughout the wash, but I've realized that probably the most paramount thing after the quality aspect of content is actually to film what I want, because there are things out there that some people may want to film that has a certain, current searchability score on Google/YouTube. It has a trend, and as much as I like to keep up to date with trends and styles and whatever new things that happen within the industry, I'm not going to film it only because there's a trend. I always like to follow up a quick wheel clean, exhaust clean as I'm going round. So people always ask, how do you clean your exhaust? Well, cleaning wise, it's extremely simple. This is how you clean your exhaust, people. Very easy. Just get in there and agitate. And this way, if you do it from the start, or let's say once you've polished them up, got rid of any damage, this is how you maintain them. You don't have to do no gimmicks, but a wheel cleaner, a little bit of twirly, and you're done. So, in terms of what I said, I'm gonna, so much, like I said, this washing chat could be 17 hours long, and I will probably just be getting started at that point. But we'll try and do as much as we can. I know you guys have been absolutely gagging. The amount of emails and messages, when's the podcast? When is the wash and chat coming back? It's come back, people, it's come back. So, I'll tell you something. One thing it's weird. I've said this to Kelly and she still, I don't think, can understand what the hell I mean. I sometimes can't even understand what I'm saying about it. But this move, this construction project, and everything that is associated with it has, I don't know, I feel like my brain has been completely rewired, and I don't know what it is. Is it because we have expanded business operations? Is it because every contractor and his dog has decided to take a big poo on us? Is it a combination of both? But we've obviously had a lot of time to think. I wouldn't say we've had as much customer engagement because, again, a lot of people used to like to come drive from all over the country to see us, you know. The content kind of went a little bit slower, naturally. But I would say there was a multitude of things that has caused my perspective, I think that's the better word for it, but my perspective to completely change as a human, as a business owner. By the way, the same goes for Kelly too. But I think more towards me, and we drive home and we talk, and I would say, like, I feel different. Like, I feel like even just the way I speak to customers is different. My persona on life is also slightly different. I mean, I'm dealing with another kind of demon on my personal side, obviously with my grandmother in Ukraine and blah blah, everything like that. So I'm not gonna go into that conversation. But there's so much that has happened, and there was a guy, a very interesting man, came in a couple of weeks ago and we were talking, and basically, the move and exactly the problem that happened and just the magnitude of the work. Let's just talk about not the problem but the magnitude. And then we are currently about to complete on our house, and move it, so that is a magnitude itself. New vehicle, which has actually made me enjoy it slightly less already because it's very expensive. I have been waiting for it for 18 months and I have built up things in my head that you probably shouldn't build up. And when I look back on this, I'll probably have a laugh with you all, but right now, it is what it is. And what he said was very interesting. It really kind of hit home for me. He said, Nick, what you've got to realize is one of those things, especially regards the business move and the house move, that thing on its own is a big deal, whether it's mentally, financially, stress-wise, family-wise. He said, and you guys have just undergone 3 of those life-changing events in conjunction with each other. The house had its own problems, the move had its own problems, and benefits, obviously. Everything is a problem and a benefit. So, and I said, you know what, I never thought of it like that, because I never think, we never think, oh, this is a problem, or this is a inconvenience, or we're the victim. No, we just kind of crack on, because if we don't crack on, we'll probably end up in a mental institute. So, you either cry, or you keep, moving kind of one step at a time. And I never actually sat down to think. And that man, who clearly watches all the content and buys into us, has kind of come up with his own conclusion, which I think is quite a fair conclusion. I mean, look at the hydrophobics. I mean, you've just seen me hit it with undress, wheel foam, then do a double application of undress into the tire brush, and just look at that. Still, it's sometimes so hard to explain to people, but when you're using a restorative product, this is what it looks like. If you were to dry this off now, the tire itself would just look beautiful. And regards what I was talking about, this man and what he said, I don't know whether I've gone completely nuts and have lost my marbles. I don't know. I seem to care less now about things that would bother me more. There is, certain people have said things to us or did things to us. I'm a bit more easygoing because another analogy here, but I feel, you know, when you plant a seed, when you just plant a seed into the ground and you water it enough and you feed it enough, eventually, you know, it bursts through the ground and kind of flowers into a beautiful whatever, you know, fruit tree. And I truly believe, I have a feeling that we're on the cusp of something great. I don't know what it is. I've lost my plot. And I'm just going back, and I'm going off the interest that we see, the analytics that we see on the back end, because unfortunately for anybody who doesn't believe in things like this, the numbers don't lie, the percentages don't lie, you know, the phone calls don't lie, the emails don't lie. So I feel like this place will see us go parabolic once we set up again. Today's Wednesday. We're starting to see some now new heavy machinery arriving that we've waited a long time for. I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, that we've waited a long time for. I mean, I've waited 18, 19 months for the new vehicle, and these machines, some of them are, you know, custom made. But we've waited over a year for them, so about time that we're starting to kind of see, you know, these things start to arrive. So new things are arriving as early as this Friday, so 48 hours from today. So we're just making preps, you know, trying to move space around. Believe it or not, I've just been on the phone to somebody as well, right in between filming this video and eating breakfast. And this person that I'm speaking to, that we're going to be doing business with very, very soon, and I'll touch on that later on in the video. He's in a similar position. In fact, he's in a much better predicament than us, but in a similar predicament. He's got so much space, but sometimes the wrong type of space. And you sometimes think, where do I put these things that I've invested so much time and effort into acquiring space, and now it seems like we have already run out of space. 2 floors of it. But yeah, this place has shifted my perspective, and I don't know whether it's my perspective has shifted because of this, or whether I'm just getting, I don't know, into my next level in life. You know, maybe my brain one day overnight has aged one more level, and I wake up and I'm like, you know, it is what it is. Or maybe we've gone through so much murky water that when you hit the clear water, you're like, the murky water wasn't that bad. I can live with it, you know. All right, so onto the pre-treatment now. I've got 150 ml of Yum foam mixed with very warm water, so it's going to be nice. And then we're just going to let it dwell as long as it's going to dwell. And then we'll rinse it off and go into the contact wash. All right, so as you can see, beautiful runoff. Let it soften up the last, 25-30% of stuff that can be gotten rid of during the cold rinse. Let it do its business. As I said, it's super perfect temperature at the minute. I'm in the shade and it's just below minus, so it's going to have some nice dwell time, and I will see you on the pre-rinse again. So I've got my ultra warm bucket, my V2 wash pad, beautiful. I know a lot of people are also curious to see it a bit more in action. I know they said the launch video could have been a little bit longer. 10 minutes talking about wash pads to a lot of people isn't enough. So this is why I love you, and you're going to get more of it. So as I was saying, my mindset has completely changed, and I really think that my mindset will change probably another 10 to 15 times in my lifetime. You know, I keep trying to elevate myself as a much better human being. So my motto in life, my personal motto, is be the best man that you can be every day of the week. There is no way you will not believe who's just turned up, as if you will think it's a fake. I've got ego turning up right now to come and try. I've got my blower people turning up trying to sell me my blowers. Come on. I think so anyway. Hello.
Hello.
Would your name be Lee?
No, please tell me. He said you're Nick.
I am Nick.
Hello, Nick.
I was just telling all my viewers I'm doing it live on YouTube. No, you're good. I said you will not believe who's just turned up. And you turn up, so unbelievable. Let me take this off. How are you?
I'm all right, Nick. Nice
You
to meet
good?
you.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
All right. That's all right.
It's always clean.
Is that yours?
Yes. It's a JDM imported Lupo GTI. Had no salt in it ever, and is like the second lowest mileage Lupo in the country. I think there's one at like 600 miles, but that's because the guy doesn't drive it and he drives it to MOT and back. But as you can see, I'm washing a 95% clean car.
Excellent.
Right, do you want to come in?
Yeah. Well, I'm just charging batteries.
That's okay.
So, do you want to have a look in the van first?
1 second. I'm not even lying to you guys. Look at this. Boom. They turn up. Ha! I literally can't believe it. See, guys, you put out a positive message in life and you get positive results right back. So I'll just quickly touch on the point of who you've seen turn up. I tell you, people think we script things. You've just seen that we haven't. So I've been onto these blower people for half a year. So they've just come out to check us out, of course. That's one thing that we never have to worry about. Come in any time of the day, super clean. They're really happy with us, so expect blowers, guys. Expect blowers. I've just tested out the new 765, which is the top of the range model. And I've blown dry the bonnet, so I need to still wash it, but yeah, it's very powerful. So I've got the 580, which in their speak is a baby blower, but on hyperprotected cars, like I told them, it's it's enough. But the way that 765 was blown out, I'm super happy with it. So anyway, a bit of an unexpected guest. You never know, MTM might turn up next. Jesus. Yeah, so as I said, my mentality changed for a good way, let's say. And as I said a little bit earlier, I'm a lot more laid back. It's still, you know, certain things stress me because if people, like a lot of people say, you know, oh, chill, Nick, or Kelly, whatever, you know, you'll get through it. Oh, it's not that bad. Or things will get better. But what they don't understand sometimes is, you know, certain people, when you just look at it as a decent human being, like some people don't need to do what they do, some companies don't need to do what they do, is be happy. People are dying around the world as we speak. And you're worried about your competitor? I don't even know the name of my competitors. 95% of them, I don't even know what they look like. They can walk in this shop and I'll treat them like a customer. And then they'll tell me, you know, I'm from X and X brand. Wouldn't care. I mean, recent news, earthquake in Turkey, heartbreaking. To see all those people and the emotions that they're going through, Jesus Christ, I can't even imagine it. And you're arguing about a car shampoo price versus brand A, B, and C? I mean, come on. Be real. But yeah, that's my mentality thing. I'll probably talk on it a lot more. As you've seen on the previous video, I did say that my goal, you know, for the content is to literally kill it as best as I can. Now, so far, since late December, full January, and pretty much a full month of February, I have either filmed, edited, or created content every single day. And I've documented the process. Now, in layman's terms, if you don't know what a number of that looks like, is I hazard a guess, I have created more content in 1 month than most people do in 1 year. In fact, probably 6 months. I think that's a bit more accurate. But the thing about that is, it's not for the purpose of let's make it and take a break. It's for the purpose of once you get 6 months ahead in a month, you then get to the next month and get 6 months ahead, 6 months ahead. So right now, we're killing it. Now the upload schedule is still, obviously it's regular, extremely regular, but it's not as regular as it's about to become. So I think the content creation is up there. I've just exchanged this pad for the large one from the collection, just to showcase the back-to-back similarities and the differences. So that is probably one of my biggest kind of chases out there, is we want to, it's not to make content. Anybody can put a bottle on a desktop and take a picture, whether it's from a potato phone or a 10,000 pound camera lens combo, you know, or anywhere in between. Anybody can do that. But what I'm trying to achieve is the word to document, or documentation, because I like to be known as a progressive brand and a progressive channel where you get to see the progression of where we started, where we're going, where we are, and hopefully we will get to see it in many years' time, quite a huge progression. And it's all about, you know, somebody always commented on the last video or the video before saying, you know, appreciate you pushing the limits. Like, and that's what we do. 1% here, 1% there. Before you know it, you're 500% ahead of where you used to be. Okay, so I'm going to perform a DI rinse. I've just switched it over to DI as pure water. This will, of course, allow the car to be spot free. We're then going to blow it with the blower. That's why I'm laughing about it so much. It's got me so hot under the collar, I've had to take my jacket off. I'm freezing now. Yeah, so we're going to blow dry with the blower. We're going to then bring it in there so there's not that much water left on the vehicle. And then we're going to conduct the famous drying aid method. Okay, so quick blow dry. The water on here is pure, so 0 parts per million as per the TDS reading. So the goal is not to get the vehicle dry, is we're going to blow off 75-80% of the water, and then we'll finish the rest of the process up with 2 drying aid towels and a drying aid. So while the DI water is unofficially being tested, again, you've seen me blow dry, there's a little bit of kind of water beads here and there, so we're going to see if there's any water spots. So I like to deconstruct my process, so I put it all out, you know, wash the car, and I'll put it all back in before we do anything else. So again, this is where the value in this system really comes. You will see now just how easy it is. So I've got a wheel and tire towel here, as you can see. I've got a little bit of cleaner on there. So I've got interior. I just like to do it. I just feel better with my life. So I just give it a spritz, and literally I'm just feeding it, and I'm letting the hose feed through the wheel and tire towel, which dries it / cleans it. And what you're seeing here is the Cobra Jet hose, again the best hose on the planet, has very low memory function to it. So eventually when like I say on my other videos, what you want to do is scrape it a bit, untangle it type of thing, obviously look after it. And what you're seeing here, it's now been pretty much taught to lay flat, and when you're winding it up, I mean, this is in its own very therapeutic, but it's going up really nice. So I've got a bit of interior, cleaning it, / drying it. I've got a bit of a PP dribble happening as we speak. I've got my PP dribble plug incoming as well. This just helps it stop, locks it into place. Fantastic. Boom. One higher, boom. So just dry that off, and again, I'm going to put all the stuff away here. So if you are spending thousands of pounds on some very nice equipment, why not look after it? So it takes you, a second. So anything that we always take new, the first thing off a reel, or if it's off the production line, I always take mine kind of first. The reason I'm saying this, as you can see, this has been used many, many times, and it's still looking better than new. The moral of the story is look after your equipment, people. you look after your equipment looks after you. I've seen some people using Prezzo bottles and they're already ruined after like 7 washes. I'm thinking, what are you doing with these things? So there we go, deconstructed the process. I've reversed engineered it. There we are, done. Cobra Jet looks fantastic. Wiped down. I don't know why, I always like to wipe my shelves and I don't know. It's one of them habits. I'm an absolute clean freak. Boom, let's get back to it. Welcome back to one of my favorite steps. Welcome back to the Bear HQ. So still, so far there's no water spots, which is a good thing. I've got my AC on 24 degrees. So it is actually helping the car dry out a bit quicker naturally. Now, drying aid step, a lot of people confuse this. So I'm going to again hammer this home another 50,000 times after this video. When you put a towel on a car, imagine this is paint. Even the best towel in the world is classed as a low impact abrasive. Your hand, your towel, let's be honest, it's not sandpaper. But over the hundreds, in some cases thousands of washes that a car sees, imagine one wash gets a 1 micro scratch. You do 500 washes, it's 500 micro scratches. So you get the gist. So a drying aid method is very simple. You've got a little bit of water on, I've blown it dry. You then take your drying aid, whatever's on the bonnet now is pure lubrication. You take your dry towel and you dry the car, but this time with lube. Okay? So you've dried the car, you've lubricated the process, you've added gloss, and by this point, when you take your secondary drying aid towel, like I say always, if you email or call, it's almost a pointless towel, but you need to have it because it's always a two towel kind of step. So there, this might be even easier to show you on here. You've just added all of that lubrication. If there is something in the towel, if there's something on the glass, imagine this is paint, something has landed on it, or just generic friction, you're mitigating that with a micron of pure lube. Look at that. And as I said, look, can you see it? It's starting to flash so quick. So by the time you change over and you do that, it's done. Like, you don't need to do anything. And what you do, again, you change the surface tension completely. Where's it gone? There we are. So there's a host of benefits. You're adding like world-class crazy gloss at the same time. So it's not like you're just doing it, or is it a safety aspect? It's more than just a safety aspect. And don't be frugal with it. This product, no matter what product that you're using, and manufacturers trying to tell you crazy numbers just to make you buy more, all you've got to remember that product coverage, unfortunately, with the current technological advances within the car care industry, can't be mimicked. Coverage is coverage. You need an even film of product. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Lovely. Then you take your towel and you're done. So this is not an infotainment or information video, so I'm just going to crack on with all the other news. What was I talking about? Sometimes I lose track. Anyway, you've seen the blower people arrive. I mean, that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Those blowers are coming very, very soon, hopefully. They're just trying to, again, I anticipated this. They are now asking all the local dealers who operate in a a farm environment or a kind of a garden environment to see if we're worthy of the course type of thing. So they don't anticipate a problem, but they thought they'd just kind of pop in and kind of see our place. So that was nice. We've got a new development kicking off with another partner. This is not a wholesale partner of YumCars. We have been given the go-ahead to manufacture our secondary co-brand that people know of. It's very important. We have multiple co-brands that have, not co-brands, but co-brand opportunities that have approached us. And sometimes people want to keep it kind of quiet, which again, their brand, their choice. And we've got certain co-brands that want to shout it from the roof. So the second co-brand, I'm not going to reveal what the name is, but the second co-brand has given us the opportunity to quite a interesting development, because the person who owns said company doing the co-brand is extremely interesting. I think I will leave it at that for now. It will be revealed later, and I'm sure we'll probably talk about it in depth. But the interesting thing is we are manufacturing 3 custom spec products as per their requirements, specifically and exclusively for them. So I may reveal that in a bit as well. Obviously, I will give them the opportunity first to reveal their first co-brand themselves, type of thing. But it's nearing its completion. The first order is in the realm of over 5,000 bottles. I think it's like 5,300. So, you know, it's not a small order. So we've made that happen for them. Custom products. By the way, one of the custom products, I'm going to have to steal that idea, because it just came out too well. When you see it, you'll be like, oof, that's nice. So I'm going to be like, you've given me an idea. I know we've made it, but you've given us an idea. So that has been actually in the process for well over, I think, 16 months. It could have happened quicker, but the label design, so again, we've facilitated everything. Labeling, bottling, mixing, delivery, everything. So that's what you call, you know, somebody who invests in your technology, makes it their own as per their specs, and obviously takes full control of procurement as well. So that's what I call the real co-brand. So yeah, it's been an interesting development. It's always nice to be approached and partner up with people who just understand the process, respect the process, which is the important thing. You know, some things like, again, 15, 16 months of work has gone into this. Not a single word was mentioned by either party, of course. Nothing was revealed. It's top secret. We have worked on custom formulations together as per their spec. And, you know, it took however long it took. You know, the fact that it's going to start getting shipped towards the end of February is just one of those things. Sometimes perfection doesn't always take overnight. I know the current TikTok generation want everything fast. They want it tomorrow. Well, that's not how we work, and the main thing is it's the people who want to invest. If you don't want to invest a single penny of your personal money, how do you think, say, us are going to invest our time, our resources as well, our knowledge? I mean, knowledge nowadays isn't free. So we've now got 2 pro grade, highly impressive cold brands, public cold brands, I should add. So the upsell for the video, if you need a cold brand, private or public, please give us a shout. And you get access to some very nice things that nobody else can get access to. Whether it be also accessories, custom accessories, curated, custom, sourced accessories. We do it all. Sales pitch over. So obviously that's probably one of our biggest developments in Q1 of this year. We're going to get that off the ground. House move. We are going through the final stages of our house kind of sale. The guy's dragging it just a little bit for whatever reason. He's a doctor who has a residency in London. He's got his second residency. I'm not too versed on doctorships and their residencies, but his other residencies, one of the biggest hospitals, which is close to our house, so he needs a second home away from London. So he's buying our house. Hopefully it works out for him. But the most important thing is we get, as of the filming of this video, we get our keys to the next house, the next project house, next week. I think I'm going to go and pick them up. Now the beauty of this house is I am going to, hopefully, if funds allow and this continues to go how it continues, I'm hoping that I can use this next house as almost a second commercial interest, to where we film at home. It'll be very nice. The property, hopefully I can explain it. I'm going to give you a very quick rundown, and then obviously there's going to be it's a dedicated video series of probably hundreds of videos, if not thousands. This place is very interesting. But if everything goes well, that property will probably be the greatest achievement if the whole thing happens. And when that video launches, just remember to what I said here. I don't want to give too much away, but if that property as a whole happens and we stay there long enough, it will be the greatest achievement for our brand as the holding brand of the many sub-brands that again will be revealed on the membership as well at first, and then of course some of it may go on to the main YouTube channel. But I'm hoping it will be, I've got lofty plans, sometimes too lofty. But if it does happen, it will be a very interesting development. We'll be able to film from home. I can give you hopefully a tour of the place. See what happens. Also to give you an idea of where I think that place will take us. And then we kind of continue from there. We almost have two separate entities running at the same time, which means content is consistent. It's different because it's not just of everything in here. It's going to be at the HQ, away from HQ. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm picking it up. I sound like I'm picking a car up here. We're collecting the keys to it next week, and it should be very interesting. Just keep your eyes peeled for the next probably 6-7 weeks worth of content. It's going to be probably in that time frame. A quick walk around first, talk to you a few of the plans. I may even do a wash and chat at that place. I'll probably wait until spring really hits into stride, because it's not spec'd out, well, the garage anyway. The garage is not spec'd out as well as this place, so all the real equipment for now is here. Again, if we stay there long enough, we will outkit that garage like this place, hopefully, and then we can start really splitting the geographical locations of the content from here to there. So that's quite an interesting one. Again, we're going to use drying aid on the wheels. This time we're going to use ceramic in the form of drying aids. So towel 1. This is, again, more wheel and tire towels. I like to get an independent one that I just rub the tire dry, like this. Then I take my wheel and tire towel loaded up with drying aid. Again, you can spray directly into the wheels, directly into the towel. Don't overcomplicate a very easy process, because people do ask that. What's a better way of doing it? The best way of doing it is getting a world-class towel, a world-class product, and drying the wheel. Right, that's it. That's the wheels dried. You keep it topped up. Wheels super dry. I mean, the way the rubber looks now is nice, you know, very nice, very clean. And then we're going to just put that little light layer of Dress V2, let it re-moisturize for as long as possible. I mean, this car's going to stay here tonight anyway, so there's no need to think about wiping it off. But if you imagine, if I was driving out of this place at 6 p.m, I would then take a virgin towel and just quickly rub it down, and it's going to look beautiful. So as I said, I think we've had 3 life-changing events happen all within a week of each other. Of course, as they say, that's what's called sod's law. However, we just need to crack on with life. No moaning, no being a victim, like a lot of people like to play. And say, man, why does it always happen to me? I always think it's positive. We've got a new lease of life, almost pretty much a new business model, new home, new car, the world's best customers. What can somebody ever dream of? I always try and say I'm living the dream, because I truly believe I am. If you haven't had the privilege, I'm going to do it this way. If you haven't had the privilege of moisturizing professionally prepared, maintained tires, then you're missing out. So again, as I said on camera, the tires alone just look fantastic, and we just keep topping the moisture levels. So again, Dress V2 via a Prezzel 750. Our foam applicator, I still believe foam is the best for even application. And as you can see, there's 1 spray, there's 2 spray. That's all you need. There's no overspray, no nothing. I always say the application is the worst in terms of when it sits on top of the rubber. Before, it's a bit like your face moisturizer. The moment you put a face moisturizer on, the first few minutes feels the worst, and then after it soaks in, it's like, oh, this is nice. This is the same thing. So over the next 5 minutes, the tire will begin to actually change in look as it starts to kind of soak in more and more. Oh, look at that. It's all you need. There's no brushing it on or anything like that. Just even. One-time wonder, or one-hit wonder, as I say. even out the spray bottle is just 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 6 hours, all different looks. And the longer it gets the chance to moisturize and kind of penetrate the substrate, the better it begins to look. Let's see. Can I keep a non-stabilized camera rig stabilized? And that's it, guys. First wash and shot of 2023. A lot has happened today, so it's kind of been busy at HQ. Phone's going off the hook. Emails going off the hook. Orders going off the hook. But we keep fighting. We're hopefully, talking with Kelly and stuff, we're hopefully going to restart the journey of rebuilding the team, the new place. We're here for minimum 5, then 10, you know, if we choose to extend. So why not start kind of setting some serious roots here, and hopefully, you know, our next team will be the best team once again. We had the best team in the Midlands. We're going to have the best team in South Yorkshire. So let's see what kind of the world brings to us. So I think I've updated you on, you know, I mean, as I said, you're playing catch up with updates as well. But I think major wise, I think you're fairly up to speed. Again, the more important update will the more in-depth, update will come via a podcast format, because fortunately a wash and chat is not, it's a good place to catch the in-between conversation, but the in-depth conversation wants to happen on a podcast. So stay tuned for that. It will most likely be a pre-recorded podcast. The live podcasting will probably kick off in a bit. So I'm curious, am I the only person who dresses the inner lip of the tire? Curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please let me know. Are you a lip dresser or a non-lip dresser? I am one major lip dresser. So yeah, look, the tire is, again, even and out, boom, 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 sorted. Let that soak in. So wash and chat number 1, 2023 completed. Very basic again, not testing any products. This is what I do 90% of the washes. I work super hard, like you've seen it on all the cars that we've had. We work super hard to invest the 40, 50 hours of polishing time and protection and decon and all these things, just so what you've seen here happens quicker and quicker. You know, everything's beating off. You blow it dry, you do the drying aid, you know, all these type of things. The car's looking unbelievable. I don't think I need to tell you that. You can see with your own eyes. But this is why you upfront investment in time. You may think, oh, I'm not going to polish my car, or I'm not going to, you know, protect it via, you know, certain products. But still, this is why we do it. So we have a very, very good wash and chat, or if you don't film it as well, it's kind of super quick washing. I hope you've liked the update. As I said, the documentation process is well and truly underway. The frequency of uploads is of course on its way as well. Always trying to evolve. I always say this to people who call, you know, I may not have half-naked women straddling the bonnet or the roof and, you know, peddling flavored colored toilet water. But one thing I think I have honed in is just the raw quality of footage and information, and the value is probably some of the kind of most informative and high quality content, I think, you know. So we've got a really nice camera setup. We're going to invest more in cameras again. I'm investing in a Cineline camera next, so that's going to be 8K footage. the banks are going to love me. That's all I'm saying. The banks are going to say, oh, here he comes again. I come too often with those boys. But yeah, updates. I'm happy. I'm hoping you've enjoyed the updates. A lot's happening at the minute. We're very kinetic. Everything's moving. Everything's kind of happening all at once. But new house, hopefully I will try and get you some footage of it and explain the story behind the house and what I'm hoping, if everything goes how I hope and I put this positivity out into the universe and the ether, I hope it comes back to me in abundance. Because that place, I think, if we get it to how we want to get it, I think is game over. I think that is destination level property. And as always, you know, I appreciate your support. Excuse, you know, the constant GTI footage. It's about to die off. New cars here very soon. It goes into build as of time of this filming on Friday. Actually, it's slightly earlier, so it's going into build in 48 hours. I don't know how long it takes to then get delivered. Is it a week? Is it 6 weeks? Is it 8 weeks? I do not know. But then expect just a random video introducing the new car. So again, at the minute, it's a parody that keeps on giving, this one. Yes, sell all the cars. Your car's here in 2 weeks' time. 18 months later, your car's going into build on Friday. So one of those things. It's certainly been a journey and probably a learning curve as well. But yeah, hope you've seen the process. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you like the wash and chat format to be back. I'm going to do, of course, a lot more wash and chats. I wash this car 3 times a week, so I'm sure on 1 or 2 of them per week I can get the camera out. That's not a problem. So as always, guys, thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching. Always curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please let me know what you think, and I will catch you on the next episode. Thank you.